a group of monster rockers set Europe aflame and finally brought Eurovision glory to Finland.
And that is why this year Helsinki is hosting the biggest song contest in the world. I'm Jani.
And I'm Ulrika. Welcome to Eurovision Countdown.
Lordi rules supreme. We take a look at the monsters that became saviors in Finland. We find out about the young artist who carries the hopes and dreams of newcomer country Georgia on her young shoulders. And we find out a little bit about how it all got started once upon a time. But for now, let's head back to Helsinki and see how Jani and Ulrika are doing.
So, Ulrika, welcome to my hometown, Helsinki.
Thank you, it's really nice to be here.
I've actually arranged a very special Finnish welcome for you.
Really? How exciting!
Well, it's the least I could do.
Thank you.
International man of Eurodance, DJ Bobo, has decided to throw his hat into the Eurovision ring. The Bobster is no stranger to success on a grand scale. In 2003, his song Chihuahua was the second best-selling single in the entire world. Bobo's entry is a melancholic song called Vampires Are Alive and describes the curse of being one of the blood-sucking bat things, all set to a thumping techno beat, of course. With a very ambitious stage act planned, and of course monsters being all the rage, Switzerland has emerged as one of the big favourites to win this year, at least according to many betting agencies. Another country that's received a lot of favourable buzz this year is Belarus. Their song was composed by Philip Kirkorov, the king of Russian pop, who is in the Guinness Book of Record for having sold out the most concerts in a row. Work Your Magic is sung by 22-year-old Koldun from Minsk, who dropped a career in chemistry for the lure of stardom. Koldun's mother was the founder of Princess Diana's Belarusian fan club and always dreamt of having a daughter that looked like the princess. Instead, she got a son who looks like the princess. Uncanny resemblance, eh? Cypriot songbird Evridiki is no spring chick when it comes to the competition. This is her third time. Apparently, Evridiki was persuaded by her son to represent Cyprus again. The clever lad realized that if his mother was in the finals, he'd get a chance to meet his all-time favorite band. I'll give you one guess who he's thinking of. Yes, them again. Yet another winner of a local televised music talent show, Magdi Rusa, joins us, having been chosen as Newcomer of the Year at the Hungarian Music Awards, which also got her a ticket to Helsinki. It all adds up to an exciting year for Hungarian Eurovision fans. Not only because Magdi's song Unsubstantial Blues is rather good, but also because last year their national broadcaster decided they didn't have the money to compete, and so stayed at home in 2006.
Well, that was different.
I knew you'd like it.
I'm not even sure like covers it. Now what though?
Your carriage awaits you, my lady.
Oh, Eurovision mobile, how cool!
While we head into the city, why don't we have a look at how it all started?
It is the year of our Lord, 1951, and a journalist of the London Evening Standard has just invented the word Eurovision. It is clearly a great word, but much like Paris Hilton, no one can find a proper use for it. Fast forward to 1955. In Monaco, the fledgling European Broadcasting Union is holding a meeting when a Frenchman named Marcel Bethencourt has an idea. Why not unite a continent still recovering from the war in a spectacle celebrating the universal language of love? song. The others recognized a great idea when they heard one, and the Eurovision Grand Prix was born. The very next year, the first Eurovision Song Contest was held in Lugano, Switzerland. Back then, though, the whole thing was transmitted using microwaves. The competition was still in its infancy. Only 7 countries took part. Each country presented 2 songs, and only a single point was awarded by the judges. In this case, to the winning entry sung by Liz Asia from Switzerland. The competition was a huge success. Every year, more countries wanted to join in the fun. Then some more. Then some that weren't even European. Today, more than 40 countries compete each and every year, and it is watched by people all over the globe. The Eurovision Song Contest has come a long way since its humble beginnings.
So I guess you Finns are pretty excited about winning, right?
Oh, yes. When Lordi, the pride of Finland, won the Eurovision with the highest score ever, we knew that people had finally realized the genius of Finnish music.
But you won with a heavy metal group in monster makeup.
Yes, it's taken a while for the rest of the Europe to catch up with the sophisticated taste of Finnish music.
What?
And afterwards, half of Finland gathered on this square to give them a hero's welcome.
The door opens wide.
When it comes to the Eurovision Song Contest, Finland has had a somewhat checkered past. Famous for getting 0 points, nobody in Finland ever expected Eurovision success.
Finland!
Finland! I think we have our winner, and that is Finland!
Lordi won by an unprecedented margin, and on their return to Finland, more than 80,000 Finnish fans flocked to the Helsinki city centre to hail their new national heroes. Only a few months earlier, though, even the band themselves were hesitant about entering the contest.
I was kind of like, yeah, okay, what the hell, let's do it. There's nothing to be ashamed of, you know, because we're still doing our own music, and you know, but our guitar player Raymond was like, no way in hell. You know, that's the last thing any rock band should do. Like had discussions for him like for a few days, and you know, eventually he was like, yeah, it's the only thing we really should do.
Finland was a country divided. Before Athens, many Finns thought sending a group of monsters to represent their country would end in embarrassment and humiliation. Now things are different. In fact, the Finns keep coming up with new ways to celebrate their heroes. You can visit the Lordi Square, pick up the latest issue of the Lordi comic book, eat some Lordi candy, and buy some Lordi cola.
It's a famous band in the world. It's great.
Not from this planet, but after all, it's quite good.
I saw Eurovision and, you know, was impressed. Said, I gotta go see that guy.
Lordi has certainly changed the way the world views Eurovision. But will they have a lasting impact?
We brought the balls to Eurovision, so you can continue from that.
Well, Lordi has ruled Eurovision since last May, but this year a record 42 countries have entered the competition, and they're all coming here in an effort to wrest the crown from Finland.
Fools!
So you may say, but let's check out what they have up their sleeves, shall we?
Like several other contestants, Eric Papilaya shot to fame in his home country after competing in a televised talent show, Star Mania. He didn't win, despite choosing a rather well-known Eurovision anthem. Yes, that one again. Eric's song, Get a Life, Get Alive, has already been selected as the theme song for the annual AIDS charity Life Ball. His performance in Helsinki promises to be something special. The show will include a red ribbon of men bedecked in 18,000 crystals, more than 700 meters of feathers, and Eric's outfit will be designed by punk legend Vivienne Westwood. Moldova nearly didn't enter the competition this year, but in the end they chose to give it another go. For only their third entry ever, they chose red-headed firecracker Natalia Barbu to represent the country with the pop-rock anthem, Fight.
Every day is like a start, ups and downs.
Natalia isn't exactly hard on the eye. She's been called one of Moldova's premier sex symbols. But she's also an accomplished singer and a violinist from a family of famous musicians. Erikir Hawkson, or Eric Hawk as he's also known, is a teacher by day and a hard rocker by night. He's famous in the metal community for being able to impersonate the voices of all the heavy metal masters, from Bruce Dickinson to Ronnie James Dio. He's already competed twice in the Eurovision Song Contest. Once in 1986 as part of Iceland's first ever entry, and then again in 1991, that time for Norway, both times without much success. Perhaps this will finally be the year of the Hawk.
This year, Iceland is going to rock. I'll see you in Lordiland.
Now it is time for us to welcome one of the new members of the Eurovision family. Actually, why don't we let them introduce themselves?
Hello, everybody. I want to greet Eurovision's audience from the capital of Georgia, Tbilisi.
Georgia has had its share of troubles in the past, but now the country and its people are looking to the future.
I'm so pleased that finally we are also in the Eurovision, in this world's greatest musical contest.
This opportunity to show the world what they're made of isn't taken lightly by the Eurasian nation. And now, their hopes of growing Europe are resting squarely on the pink voluminous shoulders of young songstress Sofo.
I have always watched the contest, and I have never imagined that I would ever participate in it. The event has utmost importance for our country because Georgia is participating in the contest for the first time.
They only be 21 years old, but Sofo is already an experienced artist who easily won Georgia's national selection. Although, to be fair, she was the only artist competing. She sang 5 entries by various composers. And in the end, she won with the weirdly wonderful song Dreams, mixing operatic vocals with a Björk-like beat.
It was my dream as a kid that one day a Georgian would come to that contest. And we are all standing by her side. We wish her all the best, and I'm sure you will not be disappointed.
As a new Eurovision nation, Georgia will have to show their worth in the semi-finals on the 10th of May. But Sofo and her countrymen won't be content with that.
We will do our best to win the support of the European audience, and of course our biggest target will be to win the competition.
Want to have a coffee?
Yeah, I'd love one, yeah.
You know, we Finns, we drink more coffee than any other country in the world. So there's no shortage of great cafes here in Helsinki.
And while we go look for one, why don't we find out what's going on in the wide world of Eurovision?
With names like Mr. Sexy Fire and Lady Soulflower, this band of Belgian cool cats are hoping to be staying alive after the semi-finals, and that Europe will get Saturday Night Fever on the big night. Unashamedly retro, Belgium's crazy mess groovers take us back to a funkier time when men had giant sideburns, women wore shoes taller than they were, and the shinier and wider your trousers, the better. Danish artist Peter Anderson started out as a hairdresser before ditching the scissors and donning drag to perform as disco diva DQ. The song Drama Queen is about a drag queen who seduces the audience with her voice. But DQ nearly never got the chance. The artist failed to get through to the Danish finals and was only snuck in on a wild card given by Danish radio listeners. DQ is known for some fabulous costume changes, and I, for one, can't wait to see what he'll be wearing in Helsinki. Garli Padar has a lot of expectations to live up to with her entry Partners in Crime. Back in 2001, her little brother Tanel won the whole shebang in Copenhagen with his song Everybody. This pink-alike pop princess blew away the competition in the Estonian finals, so she should at least fancy her chances. One of the most accomplished singers this year comes to us courtesy of Slovenia in the form of Alenka Gotar. This world-famous soprano has won numerous awards, amongst them Best Stage Personality in the World. Like many of the countries that have to qualify this year, it seems Slovenia has brought out the big guns. The Latvians aren't afraid of sending something a little bit different, and this year they're putting their eggs in the opera basket. Bonaparti.lv are sort of a Latvian version of El Divo, and they even perform their song entirely in Italian. Tune in on the 12th to find out if opera is the monster rock of 2007. For more news, competitions and fun facts, go online and head over to Eurovision.tv.
The Eurovision Song Contest is one of the oldest TV events in the world. And after more than half a century on the air, there's been quite a few incidents, shall we say.
Yeah, those moments that stick in the mind because they were so crazy, spectacular, or just plain embarrassing, really.
And for the past few months, you've been able to vote on Eurovision.tv what you thought was the most memorable moment.
So, let's have the votes of the internet jury, please.
In fifth place, we find this moment from Vienna in 1967, when the hostess is just a bit too eager to declare a winner.
Der Sieger beim Song Contest 1967 in Wien.
Still waiting for the Irish vote.
Oh, I'm so sorry.
I thought we were going to be left out.
I'm so sorry.
And in fourth place, in 1996, virtual was the buzzword of the year.
We present the Blue Room. Nice, isn't it?
And the Norwegian organisers had embraced the future.
Sådär, så fantastiskt kan det alltså bli med modern teknik. Akta dig! Ja.
And in third place, we find this opening from Stockholm in 2000. Sometimes less really is more.
Welcome, Europe!
In second place, in 1999 the competition was over when someone steps on Dana International's dress and the Israeli diva takes a dive.
Oj, där hände någonting. Där ramlade Dana International. Hoppsan, här händer det saker.
Fine now. Everything is just fine.
Så kan det gå.
Your choice for the most memorable moment in Eurovision history.
Mesdames et messieurs, your presenter, Miss Lill Lindfors.
I expect that was guitars on. Oh. They've got a knockabout sense of humor, the Swedes, haven't they? Oh, look! Hey! Very nice. Very nice.
That's all from us today.
Don't forget to head on over to Eurovision.tv to vote for which intermission act you think has been the best throughout the years.
And the results, of course, will be revealed in the next show. So see you next time on Eurovision Countdown.
Bye. And welcome to Eurovision Countdown. I'm Ulrika.
And I'm Yanni. Get ready for some more news, gossip and music from the world of Eurovision.
On tonight's show, we check out contest newcomer, the Czech Republic. We visit a country where the song contest is bigger than sports. And we also try to find out what the Finns are planning for the big finale. All this and more on Eurovision Countdown.
Here's your beer.
Thank you. This is so much better than any public transport in my hometown.
Well, I thought it would be a good way to see Helsinki.
You were right. While we're enjoying our beers, let's check out how some of the other countries have been preparing for the big finale.
Dutch diva Edcilia Rombly competed for the Netherlands all the way back in 1998 at the age of 20. She placed an admirable fourth, but is hoping to do even better this year. Since her last foray into Eurovision spotlight, she's managed to release several albums, open for Lionel Richie on tour and being generally fabulous.
But I'm looking forward to going to Finland. I've never been there, and I'm looking forward to perform again.
Kenan Doğulu is more than just an artist. He's an entire industry. Not only has he been a hit artist in Turkey since 1993, he's got his own production company and his own line of clothing. Style-conscious Kenan has admitted that he takes at least an hour to decide what to wear on a normal day. So imagine how long it'll take him to decide on an outfit for Helsinki. Having to qualify in the semi-finals won't exactly rattle the Croatians. They have never failed to make it to the finals since joining the competition in 1993. This year, they're hoping this rock ballad will take them even further. It's performed by the band Dragonfly, with guest vocals by Croatian rock legend Dado Topic, who also wrote and composed the song. Ven a bailar conmigo is a truly European song. Penned by a Swede, sung in Spanish and performed by a Norwegian. Guri Shanke beat off other Norwegian hopefuls such as Dusty Cowshit and crash to win the national entry. Her last brush with the voting public came in a Norwegian televised dancing contest, where she came second. The contest's Norwegian name would appropriately translate into Spanish as Ven a bailar conmigo. Fredrik Ndoci is known as the man of 1,000 voices in his homeland Albania. He can sing baritone, tenor, bass and countertenor. A man of many talents, he also writes and acts. And for Albania's Eurovision entry, Hear My Plea, he is joined on stage by his wife, Aida.
So, this is the Hartwell Arena, where all the competitors will fight it out for supreme victory.
Of course, there won't be any ice hockey players here then. That would just be plain serious.
Yes, it would.
Yes.
But in a very short period of time, this arena will go from this, into this.
Of course, a lot of preparations goes into the big finale.
The finals are approaching fast and preparations are in full swing. The annual Eurovision competition is the main entertainment event of the year in Europe, and the Finnish organisers are hard at work making sure this year becomes one to remember.
Meillä Suomessa ilman muuta suuri juttu, mitä me ollaan tehty. Tämä koko organisaatio on ihan valtava.
Tämän alan parhaimpiin ammattilaisiin.
Sen takia tietysti myös kunnia-asia tehdä tällaista.
Kyllä tähän voi ihan törmätä. Niin hyvä yhteistyö mahdollistaa nimenomaan sen, että voi tehdä paljon enemmän kuin mitä olisi itse pelkästään.
Esimerkiksi Erika haluaa tehdä transparentteja pukuja, niin mä yritän tukea sitä, että niistä oikeasti näkyy sitten läpi lavalle.
Mä haluaisin tehdä aina jotain sellaista uutta ja vähän enemmän kuin mitä on ollut ennen. Vähän niin kuin rikkoa sitä kaikkea, mitä aina kaikki olettaisiin, että sieltä tulee.
Tässä projektissa esimerkiksi on kehitelty tämmöistä pukua, jossa on valokuituja.
Mä oon piirtänyt se 6 metriä korkean kennohameen. Sieltä sisältä tuleekin seuraavat esiintyjät, että se on niin iso.
Sitä kuitua menee tähän asusteeseen sellainen 7-8 kilometriä. Tää on tämmöinen once in a lifetime -tyyppinen juttu.
Minkälainen asetus toi on?
Se on niin 0,1, ettei ihan paljon pääse.
Nolla tossit. Suurin uudistus, mitä nyt on hakemassa, on se screenien käyttö tällaisena kolmiulotteisena pintana. Meillä on 310 neliömetriä screeniä. Niillä tehdään lattiapintaa, kaarevaa seinäpintaa, ne kaartuu jopa esiintyjän päälle. Kuvasta voi tulla asioita läpi. Sillä muotoa siihen tulee sellaisia uudenlaisia syvyyksiä.
And there is plenty of the latest equipment on stage. PA systems by the tons, hundreds of microphones, monitors, and several kilometers of cable. 100,000 kilos of equipment will hang from the roof of the arena, an all-time record for the Eurovision.
Totta kai mitä lähemmäs H-hetkeä tullaan, niin varmaan sitä enemmän jännittää.
Pitää olla hyvät herput ja hyvä pinna ja aika väsymätön.
Mä uskon, että jokainen tekee sen oman duuninsa paremmin kuin mitä ne pystyy. Helsingin Euroviisusta tulee omaperäisen näköiset.
Mun mielestä tää on aika hauskaa, että meidän omat piirteet tulee kuitenkin esiin, että vaikka vetää paljettia pintaan, niin on hiukan kuitenkin synkkää lunastusta.
Siihen on varmaan vaikea muiden päästä tämän jälkeen.
So, Jani, why do you think that Finland has sucked quite so badly in the past years? Is it the music?
I don't think so. I think the language might have had something to do with it. You know, Finnish is very different from most other European languages. It's like champagne and caviar. It's an acquired taste.
But of course. Well, you know, the rules about languages in Eurovision have changed throughout the years, and that's had quite an extraordinary impact on the music.
My love is stronger now than you'll ever know.
Nowadays, many countries sing in English. But for much of the competition's history, everyone had to sing in their country's native tongue. Cunning songwriters quickly realized the advantages of using words that mean the same thing in any language. Nothing at all. Boom has always been a popular choice. But without a doubt, the favorite nonsense phrase is we might not understand it, but we sure can sing along.
So, how do you think Finland will do this year?
We'll win, obviously.
Well, I think Lordi opened up the competition to a lot of new styles, so you'll have to compete with more than just the usual Euro ditties, you know.
Yeah, maybe that's true. But even in the unlikely event that Finland doesn't win, I'm still proud to say that I think we've changed the competition forever.
Well, let's check back with how your competitors are doing.
Serbia is competing for the first time as an independent nation. And they're putting their best foot forward. A team of more than 100 people are helping to make sure that KD Lange-like Maria Serifovic makes it through the semi-finals on the 10th. The honor of representing the landlocked mountain paradise of Andorra fell to Blink 182 fans Anonymous and their environmentalist anthem, Salvem El Mon. Andorrans have more reason than most to make sure the future is green. With the highest life expectancy in the world, chances are they'll be around to experience it. The Jet Set very nearly got to represent Poland in 2006, but fell at the finishing line. This year, however, they emerged victorious. The band consists of 17-year-old singer Sasha, originally from St. Petersburg in Russia, and Brit David J. And their song could be the anthem of the whole competition. Sasha and David have been extremely successful in Poland and were recently nominated as Polish Band of the Year. Another country competing for the first time as an independent nation is Montenegro. And the artist who gets the honor of defending his country's colors is 21-year-old Stephen Faddy. The young artist is actually of Scottish descent. His forefather, William Faddy, was on his way back to Scotland after fighting in the Crusades with King Richard the Lionhearted, when he fell in love with a local girl and decided to stay.
Now it's time to greet a newcomer to the contest. The beautiful country of the Czech Republic and its splendorous capital of Prague has inspired some truly great music throughout the years. It has nurtured world-famous classical composers like Leoš Janáček and Antonín Dvořák. And Mozart felt Prague was the only city on earth where he was fully appreciated. But you can't live on old merits forever, and now the Czechs are ready to tune in to something different. This is their first ever entry into the hallowed halls of Eurovision. But if you thought the Czechs would play it safe, you'd be wrong. They're sending hardcore metalheads Kabat.
Tak je to veliký závazek, protože jsme po určitý době, vlastně my jsme první, kdo reprezentuje Českou republiku, a tím, že hrajeme tak dlouho a jsme zvyklí vlastně na velký stadiony, tak nemám trému ani nějaký strach vyloženě.
Kabat, meaning the coat in Czech, or no shrinking violets. The band has been around since 1981. And the current lineup has delivered hit after hit to appreciative Czech audiences since the early 90s. Now they plan to conquer the rest of Europe.
Doufám, že těch 100 milionů diváků, kteří koukají na tuhle soutěž, nebudou zklamaný, když budeme hrát my.
Finlandia! Finlandia! Finlandia!
Whatever happens in Helsinki, the Czech rockers are looking forward to the greatest party of 2007.
No tak já se z Finska nejvíc těším asi na to Finsko, protože jsem tam nikdy nebyl. Tak...
A Finsko, tam bych jel na ryby jenom.
Těším se speciálně na finskou saunu, protože chodím saunovat už v Čechách, tak se těším i na tu finskou.
As Eurovision mad as the Finns have become, there is one country that beats you hands down for Eurosongmania.
Really? You're not going to say Sweden, are you?
No, let's have a look.
Malta. Despite this small island nation having less than 500,000 inhabitants, it bustles with life. But on one night every year, this happens. Tonight is Eurovision night, and nearly 95% of the population are cheering on the Maltese entry.
We gather around, everyone. Sometimes we invite friends, bottle of wine. It's a bit of a celebration. We do a pasta night and see you at home. It's the only thing that we have as a country, something to look forward to.
Like the biggest festival, which literally unites all the local people together.
Despite the obvious enthusiasm of the Maltese for the Eurovision, they have never won the competition.
Sometimes you have a song which is very good, but you find yourself out of context, if you know what I mean.
And last year, they were really out of context. They ended up at the very bottom of the heap. The Maltese, however, have a history of keeping their spirits up in the face of adversity.
Cheer up, think it's a boom. Go on, whistle at you.
This year, the Maltese are determined to win, and they're going with a real Eurovision veteran. 32-year-old Olivia Lewis has tried 10 times before to win the Maltese national selection. This was her 11th try, and this time she succeeded.
I can't really explain. It's overwhelming. Everything is happening so fast.
You're spinning me around and you're holding me down. Loving you gives me vertigo.
I'm really happy to be representing Malta with a song like Vertigo. It comes from the heart.
I think it's a very good song, something different.
Malta's come so close so many times. Malta has great talent, and it's time that talent was recognized.
Knowing that the Maltese are expecting of me, somehow I feel that they're expecting me to bring the Eurovision home.
So, what are we doing out here again?
Patience. We're not called the Land of Thousand Lakes for nothing, you know.
Okay. Are we nearly there yet?
We're almost there. Just take it easy.
All right, while we trek through the wilderness, why don't you check out the news?
Israeli band T-Pax was at the center of a mini scandal after their entry Push the Button was questioned. Some felt it broke the rule that says that lyrics must not be overly political.
Då har det gonna push the button, push the button, push the button, push the button.
The Israeli lyrics were discussed by the organizing authorities, but in the end, they were cleared for participation in Helsinki. Being a bit of a beauty, former Yugoslavic Republic of Macedonia's Carolina has been the face of Head and Shoulders and Kara in her home country. But she's best known for her singing. In fact, her last album was the country's best-selling album ever. Next, we catch up with one of the most eagerly anticipated performances. Bulgaria's third entry ever introduces us to something a little bit different. Mixing techno and the otherworldly folk song of trained percussionist Elica, this track is all about the beat, as she's backed up by Bulgaria's best drummer, Stoyan. And let's face it, drums are just cool. Another singer who wants us to dance with her comes to us courtesy of Portugal, who has entered the song Dança Comigo, performed by 24-year-old Sabrina. A lifelong fan of the song contest, she was virtually unknown before winning the hearts of the Portuguese voters. Now, she divides her time between interviews, performances, and training with a football team she's been a part of for the last 10 years.
Is this the surprise?
You didn't think we're going into the lake, did you? It's freezing.
Last one in is a rotten reindeer. Oh, that was so totally worth the walk.
I told you so. As much as I love Helsinki, I think we all need a break in the countryside every now and then. And talking of breaks...
Ooh, nice link.
What?
For the past few weeks, you've been able to log on to Eurovision.tv to vote for your favourite intermission act in Eurovision history. You know, all those breaks in the action while we wait for the votes to be counted.
And now it's time to reveal the results. So, could we have the votes of the internet jury, please?
It seems we have a lot of British voters, because in 5th place we find The Wombles, a big hit on British TV in 1974. During that year's intermission, they were inflicted on the rest of the continent.
The Wombles of Wimbledon, common are we.
And in 4th place, A Man, a Girl and Their Bike. Need we say more? In 2000, the Swedes produced this piece of video art, mixing sounds from all over Europe.
Hello, Europa.
Luxembourg, a rope that looks and behaves like a horse. Apparently, this was your number 2. And your choice for the best intermission act in Eurovision history. A global phenomenon was born when the world was introduced to river dance and the flaming feet of Michael Flatley.
Next time, we'll find out which outfits you think have been the most outrageous throughout Eurovision history. And that's all for us for now. Bye!
Hi and welcome to Eurovision Countdown. I'm Yanni.
And I'm Ulrika, and we'll be bringing you the latest updates in the world of Eurovision.
On tonight's show, the stage designers tell us how they went about making their fantasies come true. We meet a real Finnish fan, and we find out more about some of the countries that are preparing for the finals. All this and more on Eurovision Countdown. But first, let's meet the hosts of the Eurovision Song Contest 2007.
Hi everyone, I'm Jaana Pelkonen.
Hello, my name is Mikko Leppilampi.
The most fun part for me is this whole thing, because I can be part of something so special and big, and I love all the songs, and it's going to be so nice to meet all the artists. And
We're part of history in the making, so to speak, at least in Finland. This is all about true fantasy, and my fantasy just came true.
Oh.
They have prepared everything, and they have like 100,000 kilos of stuff in the ceiling, and they have brought like 25 truck full of equipment for the stage, and they prepared everything and spent so much time and money, and then it all comes down to 2 people with microphones.
Oh no, now you said it. Now I'm going to be so nervous.
Yeah, you better watch. It's gonna be huge.
Thanks.
Did I talk too much?
No.
The big finale here in Helsinki is coming closer and closer, and preparations are in full swing.
A record-breaking 42 countries entered the competition this year, and on the night, 24 of them will sing for top honors. Taxi!
And while we head back into town, here are the latest news.
Les Fatales Picards wowed the French crowds with their song about an American boy and his love for a French girl. Despite it being sung in both French and English, usually a big no-no in Anglophobic France. In keeping with the theme of the song, the French parts are sung in a thick English accent. Persistent rumours abound that the group will perform inside a giant snow globe on stage in Helsinki. We'll just have to wait and see about that one. The beautiful entry Love or Leave is brought to us by Lithuanian band For Fun. Singer Julia Ritchik is an English teacher in her everyday life. But on the 12th of May, she and the rest of her black-clad band will perform live for more than 100 million people. Greece has been extremely successful the last couple of years. This year's entry, Sabu, grew up in London, where he was born to a Cypriot father and a Lebanese mother back in 1981. He's had leading roles in the English National Opera and the Royal Opera House. Now he's looking to make it 2 wins in 3 years for Greece with his song Yasu Maria. He's been labelled the Dean Martin of Deutschland, the Frankie of the fatherland. Roger Cicero from Berlin is emerging as one of the favourites of Eurovision 2007. This jazzy little number about girl power is currently one of the top tips for winning in Helsinki. Mr. Cicero's jazz credentials are pretty much impeccable. As a small boy, he was once cuddled by Josephine Baker. Soon, we'll find out if some of her mojo rubbed off on him.
When Finland finally won the Eurovision, it was a victory few had predicted. In fact, some thought Finland would never win.
But when we finally did win, it was with the monster rock group.
And it's no wonder that when a heavy metal band succeeded in Eurovision, they were from Finland.
Where is Helsinki?
Helsinki is in Finland.
Finland is a land of heavy metal and hard rock. Everywhere you go, you are followed by the sound of metal. There are outdoor metal festivals and expos, heavy metal bars and hard rock radio channels. Ordinary Finns love to sing heavy metal karaoke, and in some churches, they gather to metal mass. After Lordi won the Eurovision Song Contest last year, everybody, including Prime Minister Matti Vanhanen, confessed to being a metal fan. And the latest winner of the Finnish Idol competition, Ari Koivunen, is the first metal singer to win the contest in Idol's history. Finland may just be the heaviest country in the world right now.
I think in Finland we have a little bit over 5 million of our population. I think 3 million are metal fans now. So.
Metal is seen as a sort of like it's a question of national pride.
It's everybody's music. Kids listen, old people listen, everybody listen to music. So.
Finland is the heaviest country in the world, for sure.
I think it's much because about our state of mind. What Sibelius wrote, it was quite melancholic stuff. I don't think we never come up with happy music.
Heavy music just fills your soul, just feels good.
We might be shy and reserved. We might be less talkative than our European cousins, but we don't fake. That's the difference.
Finland is quite simply a heavy metal nation.
So folks, I want to welcome you to Helsinki!
So, have you had enough of culture now?
Where do you want to go?
Well, I thought we could look for something for you to wear on the big night.
Are we going shopping?
Even better, I've arranged a private fashion show with some of Helsinki's top designers.
I love you.
That's nice.
Known for their electrifying stage performances, Swedish glam rockers The Ark didn't shock anyone when they won their national selection. Like some exotic butterfly, the band has gone through numerous transformations throughout the years. Perhaps their last one will be the one that lets them suckle the sweet nectar of pan-European success. In the face of all this jazz, opera, metal and techno, it's nice to see someone make a stand for the romantic ballad. Heiko is one of Armenia's premier artists and has won numerous awards around the world, including the US. Already automatically qualified for the finals, Armenia was one of the few countries who won a draw to choose their own starting position. They chose to go second from last, and perhaps being fresh in the memories of the viewers will help propel Heiko to victory. If that doesn't work, Heiko actually has another chance to go home a winner. He wrote the lyrics to the Belarusian entry, Work Your Magic. Maria Sestic has the nerve-wracking task of being the first artist out on stage in Helsinki. This means she'll have to follow the €3 million opening planned by the Finns. But Maria isn't likely to let that bother her. A performer since 6, she was also the youngest ever pianist to graduate from the renowned music academy in Banja Luka. Irish band Dervishes' song They Can't Stop the Spring is a Celtic celebration of the Eastern European revolutions. The title refers to a comment made by Czech leader Alexander Dubek back in 1968. Dervish have become the objects of a rather odd bet. Thousands have put money on that at least one member of the band will drop their instruments during their live performance on the 12th.
The Eurovision Song Contest has a growing group of dedicated fans. For them, it's the peak of each year and not to be missed. So what is it that inspires this unconditional adoration?
Se on se rakkausmusiikki. Sitten siinä on ne erilaiset kansat, kielet, värikkäät lavashowt. Siinä on se pointti. Vuonna 1976 mä olin 5-vuotias. Euroviisut voitti silloin tää Brotherhood of Manin Save Your Kisses for Me. Se jäi pikkupojan mieleen ja siitä lähtien on Euroviisut ollut mulle jokavuotinen juttu. Euroviisussa on tärkeintä se karnevaalitunnelma. Kaikki menee liput liehuen ja kannustaa sitä omaa ja toisenkin maan edustajia. Ei ole tärkein pointti se, että miten oman maan edustaja pärjää.
Good thing too, because until last year, Finnish Eurovision fans who only cared about winning would have been a gloomy lot.
di blu.
Euroviisufaneille Euroviisussa edustanut artisti on sit tosi tärkeä. Hänen uransa seurataan vuosia sen edustuksen jälkeenkin. Että vaikka olisi jäänyt viimeiseksi, niin se artisti voi olla suurempi stara Euroviisufanien keskuudessa kuin se voittaja. 2000-luvulla Euroviisut on ollut enemmän tämmöistä radiopoppia, kun ei tarvitse sovittaa niitä biisejä isolle orkesterille. Mun mielestä se on ihan hyvä asia. Kaikkien aikojen Euroviisusuosikki on mulla Luxemburgin Euroviisu 73. Siinä on niin kaihoisa ja kaunis melodia, että se toimii edelleen.
The true fans don't just watch the big finale. There are Eurovision activities throughout the year.
Suomalaiset Euroviisufanit järjestävät vuoden mittaan useita erilaisia tapahtumia. No meidän viisupileissä soi Euroviisut yötä päivää ja ollaan vietetty erityistä Euroviisuleiriä. Euroviisuharrastuksen suola on just siinä, kun ihmiset on eri mieltä, että on kiva väitellä niistä biiseistä ja artisteista. Kun olen viikon ollut Euroviisuissa paikan päällä ja käynyt eri maiden bileissä ja nähnyt sen koko spektaakkelin ja karnevaalin, niin kyllähän sieltä korkealta putoaa sitten, kun tulee takaisin kotikonnuille. Kaikki Euroviisuihin, mitä tulevaisuudessakin järjestetään, niin paikan päälle on pakko päästä. Ja olisi mahtavaa, jos Islanti voittaisi tänä vuonna Euroviisut. Ehkä Ruotsi voittaa, mutta olisi kiva päästä joskus Islantiin tai Armeniaan.
If some experts are to be believed, Marty won't get to travel next year either. Former Idol winner Hanna Pakarinen and her song Leave Me Alone is high on the list of potential winners.
So these are the clothes?
Mm-hmm.
Where are the models?
We are the models.
Really?
Yes.
Brilliant. Now from high fashion to fashion faux pas.
You, the viewers, have voted on Eurovision.tv for what you thought were the most outrageous outfits in Eurovision history.
So please bring on the votes of the internet jury.
In fifth place, in 2000, Linda Wagemaker's dress ate several of her dancers before the competition and spat them back out on stage. And in fourth place, it's Germany's Stefan Raab. Sparkly.
Watch this.
Third place goes to Gildo Horn. Bursting onto stage like a mix between an Irish leprechaun and David Hasselhoff, Gildo's green outfit seared its way into our memories in 1998.
Es gab eine Zeit voller Zärtlichkeit.
And your number two was Salome's winning song shared the top spot with three others in 1969, but her dress had no competition. But your top choice for most outrageous outfit in Eurovision history goes to Schmetterlinge. These Austrian anti-capitalists sang about kangaroos and boomerangs. And their outfits didn't seem that special. But wait, there's more.
Girl band Cerebro is the brainchild of musical mastermind Maxime Fazdiv, one of Russia's premier producers. The group, whose name means silver in Russian, had never performed at a concert or even released an album when their entry completely bowled over the Russian selection committee. Since being selected, they've gone from total obscurity to becoming one of the betting community's favourite picks. It remains to be seen whether Fastive's silver will translate into gold come May the 12th. Spanish boy band Nash was chosen to sing for their country. But then they discovered that there was another group with a similar name out there. They didn't let that stop them, they just promptly added a D to become D-Nash. This is the second entry where the song was composed by Swedish super songsmith Thomas Gison. There's also a rumour to the effect that besides English and Spanish, the lyrics will also incorporate sign language. Another band that had to undergo an emergency name change operation was Romania's entry, Locomondo. They also discovered their name was already taken, and after much hand-wringing, as well as some help from their fans, the band changed their name to Tordomondo. Protests from Ukrainian nationalists didn't faze drag queen Verka Serdushka. Good move too, as this crazy but catchy tune, backed up by Verka's extravagant stage performance, has been voted most likely to win in polls all over Europe. Andriy Danilko, as he's known when he's not wearing a dress, is amazingly popular in the Ukraine and has sold more than 1 million copies of his latest album. You may not recognise them, but UK band Scooch actually had some minor hits back in the late 90s before disappearing off the radar, only briefly re-emerging to be immortalised as one of the tracks on the Japanese game Dance Dance Revolution. Now that's success. After reforming and entering the UK's national selections, they surprisingly beat off big-name has-beens, such as Justin Hawkins, who left the band The Darkness after binging on drugs and booze, and Brian Harvey, who left E17 after binging on drugs and booze. Oh, and running himself over with his own car.
Well, that was fun.
Yeah.
I feel like going out now.
I thought we'd go and have a look at the arena first.
Won't we be just a teeny-weeny bit early, though?
Well, a little bit, but just to get a feel for the place.
All right, then.
Huh?
Yeah.
At the arena, preparations are reaching fever pitch. And people are working night and day to realise the dreams of these 4 young Finnish students.
Well, we're the stage design team, so we're designing the stage there.
We were invited for Eurovision stage design contest.
And we took part of it, so we're here now.
Yeah. It was a kind of a surprise for us as well that these young students came up with a great idea.
Yeah, but it's really unbelievable. We're just like second-year students, and this is like huge opportunity for us to create something that maybe will never happen again in Finland.
That's yours.
The idea they had was something which was kind of Finnish, it was in our culture, and the way they had been adapting it to the Eurovision Song Contest was really thrilling us a lot.
It's a kind of jawbone, I don't know, but it's a very high-tech jawbone, maybe.
Yeah.
I hope.
The form of the stage in the general is consisted of this jawbone form. So here you can see it's really similar, and everything in the stage is quite with the same form. It's somehow an idea that the jawbone goes under the stage and comes out in other point, and it's like it's rounding the whole stage, and it's like one big element.
In the beginning of the process, the most important thing was us to find like this modern expression for the myth and the mythology. So it wouldn't be this national romantic kitsch or anything.
And just like pondering different kind of ideas, then we finally ended up with the story from Kalevala.
Kalevala is a Finnish national epic.
Väinämöinen, the famous wizard, slays a fish and makes a musical instrument from the jaw of the fish, and just enchants the whole nature. And it was reflecting nicely the whole atmosphere of a Eurovision song contest and enchanting people and just like making music. It's been a roller coaster ride.
We have a lot of discussions.
I haven't been at school for 8 months or something.
We didn't sleep nights.
But I think that we got it.
Yeah.
That's all from Eurovision Countdown. It's been a pleasure and a privilege having you with us.
And now it's time for us to relax, have a few drinks, and wait for the party to get started. From Helsinki, from us to you. Bye.
Bye.
Helsinki!
I'm looking forward to going to Finland. I've never been there.
The biggest festival which literally unites all the local people together.
We brought the balls to Eurovision, so you can continue from that.
I guarantee it's going to be memorable.
I'll see you in Lordiland.